think about juvenile justice or justice, we tend to point fingers at each other. We blame the system blames the kids, and then blame the parents, and everybody blames each other. We need to get away from blaming. We need to think about why things have happened the way they happen.
Everybody knows that if there's an injustice anywhere, there's an injustice everywhere, right? So since we understand that, and just the fact that you guys are here, when you walk out these doors today, go talk to other people about what you experienced today. Go talk to other people about joining this movement. Hopefully we can be here today in unison, all the colors, all the races, all the creeds, all the different education status, economic statuses, and we can figure out how to work together.
I think before you realize your vision, you have to realize yourself and the fullness of your identity. And that comes from a lot of empowerment and a lot of self-love, which we need a community for. And you need people rallying behind you and supporting you, and behind every mistake and every triumph. You know, you need community to uplift you. So I mean, at its core, I think we need love, so.
You know, it's not just juvenile justice we're talking about. We're talking about our justice system as a whole. We have to change it. Our justice system now is based upon implicit bias, institutional racism. It doesn't take into account historical trauma that has existed and that our youth suffer from. It hasn't taken into account, in a realistic matter, the issues of adverse childhood experiences. So our job has to be something different as we create a new today.
My vision is to create more community partnerships. A lot of the stuff that we talked about today, the reality is it's not something that the system can change by itself. If we look at history, you know, the system has perpetuated this disparity for quite some time. So thinking that the system can change that itself is a fallacy.
When those kids fall into the system, let us, the community, who have built those skills up, take those youth under our wings, let us mentor them, let us get them the services they need, let us work with them, because we all understand where we both came from. My vision in the coming years is to see new systems put in place to stop kids from experiencing the justice system. There's a lot of people in the community that are ready to roll their sleeves up and do the work and put the work in with those youth. With the help of the people that work inside the system, for them, with the resources they have, for them to start putting the information out there and building out and putting more events through 2017. Like every other month, there should be an event for people in the community to be able to come to and find out how they can help.
We have a lot of resources in King County, but resources are only good if the person that can get to that resource and utilize that resource. Otherwise, it's just words on paper or services sitting in a building that nobody goes to. Let's activate that, pull those together to really look at it from a racial equity standpoint and why that is so important.
My position in the community is I'm a father first, and I'm a community advocate, but I also work for King County, the county executive, and I do a project called Systems Integration, which is making sure juvenile justice, education, child welfare, and behavioral health systems work together for young people and their families.
My vision for juvenile justice in the next year is to do those things, as well as help to educate people within the system about cultural competency, and not just cultural competency with racial and ethnic groups, but subcultural competency, like helping people to understand what's going on with the young people and families that come into contact with the system. I think the role of the system is to definitely listen to those community members and provide a response, you know. So I would say for the community to keep doing what they're doing in the system, to listen and provide an accountable response, an equitable response.
I see a place where we have moved from this traditional punitive-based model to a strength-based model of interacting with our youth. I see a place where conflict that occurs in the community is actually resolved in the community by the restorative justice initiatives that have been ongoing, not only in our community, but in every community, many communities across the nation. And in fact, like they are doing in New Zealand. A place where we are providing services, not through the court, but through the communities.
When the justice system see its value to be part of the community and see young people as people and family as family, then I think there might be a sense of justice, because it's about fitting each other's needs. The problem is that we can't help identify what those needs are if we don't have relationship and we don't have connection and we don't trust each other. To achieve this vision, you know, we have to invite people who are willing to do this work, you know, and willing to be in connection, to heal and be in relationship and to lead that work and to influence that work. And oftentimes when we think about change, we always impose that onto others. Well, the community needs to change. Well, the system needs to change. Well, everybody. What about if we all change ourselves?